is that the NFL Combine is just a couple of days away now. Guys have already started arriving, but we won't get actual Combine activities really that you can watch and enjoy until Thursday. That's when the place kickers, the interior defensive linemen, and linebackers will start. And then you'll really start to see the rest of the position groups come after that. We'll get a lot of measurements coming out Thursday as well. And a couple of names I think people should keep an eye on as Patriot fans for you. These are guys that I think could be available around when the Patriots would pick at 31. I'm currently leaning that the Patriots will trade out of the first round. But if they stick and pick, here are a couple names for you that I would be very interested in watching this week. That would be receiver Denzel Boston out of Washington.
All right.
6'4" guy. Big target that the Patriots kind of lack in that regard. I also think that Chris Brazzell out of Tennessee, he's another 6'5" guy, another big target that they might target late in the first round there. And then at defensive end, I want to look at a lot of the kind of back end of the top echelon of guys. So guys like Akeem Messidor out of Miami, he played opposite Ruben Bain. A little bit older, but really good pass rusher. TJ Parker, Cassius Howell out of Texas A&M. Guys like that. Those are the guys I'm targeting. There's 5 names for you there. Those are the guys I want to look at, see how the combine goes, see what their measurements are. I want nothing to do with offensive linemen in the first round of the NFL draft. The Patriots, I would wager quite a large amount of money they will not be taking an offensive lineman in the first round of the NFL draft, even though, for whatever reason, the mock drafts that have come out all have them taking Caleb Lomu out of Utah, it feels like, which is dumb.
Seems like there's been a little bit more talk of late of moving Will Campbell over to the right side and having Will Campbell play right guard if you can get somebody to play left tackle.
Wait, you mean right tackle?
Right tackle? Or
yeah,
right
tackle.
Oh, right tackle.
To get to if you can get somebody, but
I
don't know.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, it defeats the purpose of where you drafted him, because if that's the case, you could have just taken Armand Membu last year, who's awesome at right tackle.
But again, you're going, okay, well, you can't do it because we did this, we used the draft capital. If it's the right thing to do for the football team, then I would embrace the fact that they are willing to admit a mistake and move on.
But Morgan Moses was really good last year. He was one of the better off. Him and Mike Onwenu were the best offensive linemen you had last year, and he's still under contract. You're gonna just like, we're gonna can the guy who's better in order to play Will Campbell because we took him 4 overall. That's not what's doing in the best interest of the football team.
Yeah, I think you just have to go down the Will Campbell road one more year before you actually pull the plug on whether or not he's a left tackle or not. So I think you give him one more year fully healthy, and if he struggles again, because I saw a comparison, I can't remember who put it up on social media, but it was a bunch of rookie left tackles and, what their numbers look like. And Will Campbell was kind of in the middle of those guys. And it was like guys like Joe All, Dwayne Brown. It was like really good players. Yeah. So I don't think you can pull the plug unless you believe as an organization that he can't play the position.
Yeah. I think I heard you, Curtis, and you, Scheim, during a crossover over the weekend talking about this. And that is that I get excited every season about the Patriots going out and spending money on a legit free agent, and they just don't do it. Short of the, Curtis, you brought this up when you guys had your discussion, short of spending the $250 million that they spent a few years ago when Bill was here. It just doesn't happen. And then who ends up being available? Like, there was some discussion on this show last week about Kyle Pitts, but it seems like the Falcons are going to franchise tag him. So they're going to do that today or tomorrow or whatever. Right. So I don't know.
The lack of a salary cap is seen in the players that are actually available in free agency today in the NFL. Because if you have any feelings about a guy being worth it, you just bite the bullet, 1 year, big money with the franchise tag, which you can still negotiate down. The players that arrive at free agency are not transformational players. They are not guys that are going to transcendent players that will improve your team immediately. It's just you have to find the right diamond in the rough, like the Patriots have.
You can get that player via trade, right, Curtis?
Absolutely. You're not going to get him in free agency. You get him through trade.
And where are we on A.J. Brown? He's winking. Oh, that's your lead? All right. I'll save that for then. So, all right, Scheim. Well, you are ready, as you always are, for the draft.
Always.
You are the professor.
Men in spandex is one of my favorite things.
All right. Listening late on the app, you're a so-called draft expert. I don't know if anybody's ever referred to Scheim that way other than
Once
himself.
or twice.
Doesn't want the Patriots to draft a lineman after what he saw in the Super Bowl. Yes, I believe that's what he said.
Yeah, I don't think that the
yes,
Patriots are going to draft an offensive lineman at all. I think from center to the right side, they're pretty content, I would say. Overall, those guys were good to above average, and then it's really just the left side who struggled mightily in the playoffs in large part because Will Campbell was coming off an MCL injury. Like, I mean, we played the audio of Elliott Wolf in They Said It. Like, he clearly thinks that Will Campbell's not moving to guard, or at least he's saying it now.
Yes.
Vrabel said the same thing after the Super Bowl. I don't think that they're going to overreact that quickly. I think they're going to give
Elliott
him
Wolf
a chance.
may have a bit of a bias when it comes to wanting Will Campbell to succeed.
So
but,
would Mike Vrabel. Vrabel was there
right.
when they drafted Campbell, so they were both in the room for that. I think they both want him to succeed. And so I don't think they are going to just kind of abandon ship because of the post-injury bad playoff run.
You know what would have been a lot better for the narrative for our jobs, Greg, if he was indeed, Will Campbell was an Elliott Wolf guy, and Vrabel didn't get him out of his spot just to embarrass Wolf for the pick. But that, sadly, I don't think, in the Super Bowl.
Oh, no, I mean, Vrabel went down there and worked him out
I know.
before the draft. So, I mean,
it doesn't mesh.
He's got full own. They both have full ownership on his success.
On both of them, on both Wilson and Campbell, and Jared Wilson. I mean, they look at them and they probably say, hey, these guys were rookies. We got to the Super Bowl with two rookies on the left side of our line. And, did they struggle? Yes, at times, but was part of Campbell's struggle more to do with his injury? I think they look at it and go,
They
yes.
look at it that way and they say yes. And
yes.
So,
but they shouldn't have played him.
well, I mean,
I stand on that. Like, they shouldn't have played him. If you're gonna fall back on the fact that he didn't play if you're gonna fall back on the way he played in the Super Bowl was because of injury.
Yeah.
And if you knew that going into the game, he should not have been in the Super Bowl. He shouldn't have.
Yeah, but he was already in the divisional round, so
He
he should
shouldn't
have
have-
played the whole
yeah.
postseason.
Yep.
so
wow.
you would just have played low or something.
But Darian Lowe for
Yeah.
the whole postseason.
What was the drop off?
It wasn't that much in the regular season, but again, like now we get back to the Cam Newton difficulty of schedule argument and say,
Do you think Vidarian Lowe would have been worse than Will Campbell? Like, I'm not talking about talent-wise, if you want to compare their two talents. I'm saying what we saw out of Will Campbell during the Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
Do you think Vidarian Lowe would have played worse than that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a fair second guess,
Yeah.
but the fact that they're making the excuse with injury indicates to me they have zero interest in moving off of him after 1 year at left tackle.
Right.
Yeah.
And they felt like an 80% Will Campbell's better than 100% Vidarian Lowe.
And Greg, I think the 508 texter who says they'll probably target a lineman in a later round, I think is fair. I think they will try to add some young depth on that line because, again, Morgan Moses, old and on an expiring contract next year. Garrett Bradbury is going to be in his 30s. He'll be on an expiring contract. Mike Onwenu will be on an expiring contract. So I think you'll see them draft offensive linemen, but it won't be until late.
Yeah, depth for the future.
Exactly.
Depth for the future. I think when you look at their first-round draft pick, if they stay at 31, they're either going to add, I would guess, a wide receiver or an edge rusher.
It has to be. I
Because-
don't think you can go in any other direction.
Because you're gonna. There's a chance that you could lose Chase on.
Yeah.
Because he's a free agent and he might want a lot of money. I don't know I know that he's on the contract, but I don't know his health status. And Harold
Landry
and
is an issue health-wise.
Right. So you might need a young edge guy that you want to say, okay, he could be our future.
Well, you have the pipe dream of somehow getting Max Crosby.
He's in Chicago. I saw a photo of him and Caleb Williams.
Oh, he's available if you want him. So I don't think it's a pipe dream. The question is whether
Well, it's only a pipe dream because it's this organization.
And you're also not getting him and A.J. Brown. So you can probably pick and choose at least. If you want one, you're going to have to pick.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Because
Which do you prefer over those two? I prefer A.J. Brown.
Wow, that's a great question, Greg.
I would probably agree with you, Greg, simply because the price will be cheaper and he's, I think, a smidge younger.
I would go with Max Crosby. Because look at what Seattle was able to do to you as an offense.
But they didn't even have elite pass rushers, Wiggs.
No,
right?
no,
Like,
no,
they
I
don't
know
even
that.
have
But
a Max
no, I
Crosby,
know, and I know that. But they had an elite wide receiver. You slowed him down, and JSN. But they were able to make Drake May's life a living hell, even though wasn't anybody elite. But if you have an elite pass rusher to go with your elite defensive tackles, you can really make whoever you're playing against life a living nightmare. So even if your offense is struggling a little bit, those pass rushes can really make the other team's offense
But you could
struggle
even argue
worse.
that the round before that in the NFC Championship game, the Rams were in that game specifically because of the talent at receiver, not because of the talent at pass rush. Like it was not a defensive performance that kept them in that game. It was the offense. So
you're saying
Puka
Nacua.
Yeah, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, like elite pass catcher. So if you're talking about A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs, it's like, okay, we can start cooking a little bit.
I just don't think
Scheim, you could probably get me to your side of the street. I could make an argument on my Max Crosby side.
Unlike Scheim, I don't think Drake needs all this help.
He needs something, though. Right?
I mean, I think
It's not
so.
like they've
Well,
given him
you
a ton of
stand
help.
pat, so you got Diggs and the rest of that wide receiver room, and you're not.
Diggs is gone. Adios. No chance.
Interesting.
$26 million. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, but
he'll rework that.
You think that if Steph Diggs has a better offer elsewhere, he will stay?
Do you think he'll get a better offer elsewhere, though?
I don't.
I don't think so. I think he's going to. I think he'll rework that deal.
Okay. I bet you guys coffee for a week that Diggs isn't back.
Well, back is.
Can it be from the new Ralph coffee store, please?
Yes, please. Okay. My coffee tastes best with a horse.
Guys, can we get a Ralph's coffee delivery?
Comes with a free polo.
I'll be driving into the seaport for that.
I want the Ralph Lauren bear to deliver it in person.
Yeah. I have a Ralph's hat.
I'm sure.